everybody. Hey. Welcome to Sci-Fi Chronicles. It's another Friday. It's another adventure with me, the Mega Geek. How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Your sound's gone a bit funny, actually.
It's what
Your sound.
background
Hey,
noise.
what? No,
background
no,
noise.
No, your sound's just low.
Oh, okay.
Is it updating again, your computer?
Who knows, man? Who knows? Someone's going to pay, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, feedback from swappers.
Feedback from swappers. We're getting there, everybody. We're getting there. Don't worry. A few gremlins in the machine to start with. We'll be okay.
Yeah, you can still hear me.
Yeah, hang on. I'm just going to come off the screen, come back on, mate. Hang on.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Any better for me?
It might have been John that the feedback.
Any better?
Knows? Anyway, welcome to my show.
I'm back.
Welcome
Can you
to
see me? Can you hear me?
We just got rid of John.
Can you not see me or hear me?
What are we talking about today, swappers?
Oh, look. It's our show now. What's going on?
Yeah.
Are we there? Am I back? Can anyone see me?
No, you're not back. You're back.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Right. Okay. After that fun beginning to a show, this bloody YouTube. I've had enough of it already. So what we're going to do tonight, first of all, good to see you, Ian. How you doing? You okay? Good week?
Very, very well. Yeah, it was okay. Week was good. Oh,
good
feedback
stuff.
Again.
Feedback from swappers.
Yeah, something on my end. Let me mess around with some settings.
Okay,
sure.
And then we got swappers here as well. You know, is just finishing off the trio, which is great stuff. Now, what I thought I'd do, mate, is but where we've had doom and gloom with shows of late and what's being made, I thought I'd just bring a bit of joy back into our lives now and think about sort of classic shows and movies that we loved, retro stuff that we loved, and we'll just talk about that tonight and get the audience and involved as well and what they love as well. So what we'll do, and hopefully Swappers can hear it, he's tweaking things as well, but what I'm going to do, to hell with it, I'm going to take the risk tonight and I'm going to play some intros. I'm living life on the edge, everybody. But what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to play you some intros from some 80s and 70s shows. And I want you in the chat, everybody. And I want Ian and Swappers to tell me what their favorite is. Now, before I start it, I am going to say, for me, there's some really close ones to call in this. Okay. So, right. Okay. I'm going to play the first one. Let's do it properly.
Airwolf.
Iconic. Look at that intro, everybody. So good.
You're not playing all of it, are you?
No. So that's it. Okay, that's Airwolf. Before you get miserable, you get.
No, just saying. Yeah. I was wondering when it was going to stop.
So, well, it makes it easier if I play it all night because I ain't got to do anything then, have I? So that obviously is the first one. I adore that intro. I like all of the little effects they do, the scenes they've got of Airwolf. The music's great. And you've got a guy who's a lead in it called Stringfellow Hawk, for crying out loud. How good is that? You know?
Yeah.
So that's the first one. Okay. Right. This next one is also very high on my list.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with fire up. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field. Gone
Look at that.
past with the girl
I want a
named
show
Bo.
like that again.
But somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest
So
thing
good.
I ever do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building. I might roll a brand new car. 'Cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star.
I want these shows back.
I want her back.
Thomas. Yeah.
I've never spent much time in school, but I taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, hey.
Now that's Full Guy. Now it's so iconic that you get the iconic scene at the end where he's sat in his tub with his cigar. You know, Lee Majors, just like the cool guy. I learned everything from Lee Majors as a kid. The guy's a legend.
Did you?
Quite frankly, yeah. So that's that. Okay. So how are we doing so far, you two, on intros?
Are you
prefer that
talking
to
vividly,
lanterns?
vividly.
I know the question is, are you judging it on the way the intro's edited with the clips, or are you just judging it on the music?
I'm judging it on how it makes you feel, how you rate it when you see it, the clips that are involved in there, and taking you back to the shows from the past. So not necessarily from an edit point of view, it's how it makes you feel out of all of these shows.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So that's that one. Okay. Now a lot of
It's
people
opened it up,
forgot
pull your
about
channel.
this one.
No,
Yeah.
and also
Did
you
round
can
clubs,
see
mate.
you can see in Hollywood boardrooms, they're sitting there going, what show shall we make? Wait a moment, that Knight Rider's really successful. Let's just do one, maybe on a tricycle. No, on a bike. Yes, yeah, that's a good idea. Get them to write it, you know. You can tell it's that's how they did it basically. But yeah.
So have you got any that are up the top so far, you two, on the three you've seen?
For me, it's between Fall Guy and Airwolf, because they were both at 7. Was it 7 in the evening Saturdays?
Yeah,
they were both, and that's where most kids, after playing around and stuff, come home and they sit and watch these shows. Yeah,
they did. I mean, again, it's just my childhood. Now, there's another one here that I've got a feeling, guys, might be high on the list. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it up now. Here we go.
And it's very slow. Maybe it's me.
There you go. So Magnum PI, mate. Swappers.
I love the guitar in that tune.
So good.
Absolutely amazing.
So good, isn't it?
A lot of these tracks either had really kick-ass synth or really cool kind of light rock guitar in. Oh, I just love that mixture. It's just amazing. You just don't hear that anywhere anymore. And that's one of the things that I love so much about 80s TV, especially the stuff that was aimed directly at us, when we were, 10 years old or whatever it was. But you got to laugh though at the naming conventions of these shows with stuff like Street Hawk and Air Wolf, and it's like, let's think of an animal, and then let's think of a location and make them completely separate, and then we'll make a show of it, right? So if they did that these days, it'd probably be I don't know, Land Whale, probably.
But Magnum wasn't in that era. I mean, like the first three that you showed, they were 7 o'clock Saturday for kids, but Magnum was
Yeah.
kind of like 8 o'clock. Was it 9 o'clock? Maybe, I don't know. Was it Thursday nights for adults? Really, that was mostly for adults, wasn't it? Magnum.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
And with Magnum PR, you can't ever forget the Murder She Wrote crossover. With
Oh,
Magnum.
Oh, that was great. I only saw that
It
a
was
couple
great.
of days ago.
Did
only
you
saw
really?
that-
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it a couple of days ago. But the thing about the crossover was that hardly TC or Rick. I think Rick was in a bit. They were kind of pushed to the side. It was just Magnum and Higgins and Jessica and him basically. But yeah, it's a really fun episode. Very, 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 very fun. Yeah.
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 Are we done with these? Have we still got more to go?
No, we've still got more. Do you want to see
cool.
some more?
Yeah,
You
go.
ready? So, the next one is.
There's one I'm really hoping for, but I'm not sure if you got it.
Right. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted one of those bikes when I was a kid. They were cool, weren't they? So good.
This is very fun memories of my childhood, especially this show. I used to love it. Me and my mate used to ride around the neighbourhood on our bikes. When I used to go and stay with my nan in Wales for like 6 weeks over the summer holidays and just pretend we were these guys. It was great.
It's so
Then
good.
every
But
week
again-
there was a crash, wasn't there? Every week there was a crash.
Yeah.
Can you remember the episode with the kid with the roller skates who grabbed it? They used to do that sort of bumper riding when they used to grab hold of the backs of cars. And it was that one with the kid, he didn't let go of the car and ends up going down the freeway on the back of the car and he can't get off it.
Yeah, exactly.
They hated each other though, didn't they? Those two stars
they?
hated each other. Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah, they couldn't get on, and what's his name? Not him. The other guy got him fired from the show. Apparently, they made up. As they obviously got older, they made up. But yeah, it was trouble on set basically.
Blimey.
Ooh.
You never know, would you?
No, and just to answer Farsight here, what was the show that had "I Need a Hero" as its theme tune? That was Cover Up. It was called
Cover Up, BBC One
in the 80s,
Cover Up.
and the guy who was in it died tragically early on set, and he was gonna. They really thought he was going to be like the next action star in Hollywood as well.
Also,
they tried to carry on without him, didn't they? And it just didn't work.
They replaced him. They replaced him with another guy.
Yeah. And it just didn't work, did it? It wasn't quite the same from what I remember. Yeah.
In the Fall Guy, right? You know the jetpack that he has, and he lands. I remember because they used that first in the James Bond film, and I remember the stunt guy was saying, when you fly around it, and you stop, you couldn't just take it off like that because it was red hot.
Yeah,
you had to wait a bit before you could take it off. so there you go. Yeah,
and I think I've got one. Well, I've got two more on the list, guys. Okay. So
Swappers is hoping it's the one that he likes.
I've got a feeling.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling it might be.
Okay.
And here we go.
Of course.
Had to be there, didn't it?
Knight Rider.
Had to be.
A shadowy flight
Iconic.
into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist.
Damn good. Damn good.
This thing's amazing.
Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals who operate above the law.
So cool. See, again, that had it all, didn't it, guys? That show. You had the Hoff, as the lead, Michael Knight in it. You had a flipping talking car, for crying out loud, that was pretty much indestructible. How much more do you want?
Well, good acting would help. The acting was awful in that show.
I'm just getting a bit sick and tired of your cynical nature, Ian.
No, honestly, I mean, I think I watched. How many seasons did it run for? Knight Rider. I can't remember. I think I watched the first
6 seasons. I think it was.
Was it 6?
It was 6.
Really?
I think it was 5 or 6. Yeah, from memory.
I think I watched the first 2.
There.
I think I watched the first 2, and then I got fed up with it. But I think out of all of them, though, I think Fall Guy and Airwolf was the ones that I gravitated towards. I think.
Yeah.
Knight Rider was okay, but I didn't really warm to it as a young adult, put it that way. So.
Well, we're just gonna have to stop talking to you, quite frankly.
But out of all the themes, the best theme is Magnum PI, in my opinion. So
yeah. And Swappers, what are your thoughts so far?
On that tune's just so iconic now. It's probably just the most recognizable out of all the ones we've covered so far, purely for nostalgia reasons only, I think. But but it's just such a well not orchestrated, what's the word I'm thinking of, a well kind of written and arranged tune,
composed. And
it's composed, thank you. And it's just using, because synth was just so massive in the 80s, it's using it to such brilliant effect there. And this is why these tunes are so nostalgic to us now, because they were very much of their time, but they still sound amazing. And there's nothing around like them now. No one's doing this anymore for decades. And it which makes it all the more special when you hear it again. It just seems fresh again,
Yeah.
I think they used synths and an orchestra in those days. Hollywood, obviously we're still shooting on film, and they used to have an orchestra like a movie, but obviously not as big as the movies. But they use synths together with it, so you can hear the trumpets, can't you, in the Knight Rider theme? So yeah.
Do you want to hear the final one, guys?
Go on then.
There's a final one.
Yeah, here we go, everybody.
In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
Right, I'll stop it there. But how great is that theme tune as well? And again, it was a time when we didn't care about the fact that we had guys just beating up bad guys. You know what I mean? It was a Saturday tea time show that,
Mike Post,
destroyed Doctor Who in the UK, became a phenomena. And I mean, I watched it again recently. In season 1, they turn a Renault 5 into a tank. Can you ask for more than that, guys? I mean, honestly, superb. Yeah. So, again, you two, what are your thoughts on it?
You couldn't have they're all from like the same stable, these shows, aren't they? Even if they're not made by the same people, they're all from the kind of the same place, in the same mission statement, that we make a show that can do this, 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 and this, and this. And every single one of them had a car doing a jump in it every week. You couldn't have a car. You couldn't have one of these shows without a car in it, flying through the air 15 feet up and then crashing down again, which would have absolutely destroyed it. Yeah, and then just drives off perfectly fine again without a scratch. You couldn't have a show like that without having that in it at some point. And if it didn't have that in it, we didn't want to know, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I think one that I didn't put in tonight, which was an honourable mention as well, is Dukes of Hazzard, because that's, as you said as well, just the jumps and the you know the stunts. It's just fantastic stuff, really. But I think we can agree, all of those intros that we've just seen, all of them get you excited to watch the show.
Yeah, they don't have intros anymore, do they, John? I mean,
no, they skip them. They click the button.
You could skip. Yeah, you can skip them and stuff. But the last good intro I saw, and this is going back a bit, was the Daredevil intro. You know, the Netflix Daredevil.
Yeah,
that was quite good.
It was good. It was good.
And also going back even further, Dexter's intro was. I would never skip that. I love that the theme and the way all that's shot and everything. You know, with a little bug in his hand, he slaps it. You know, and making his food and all that stuff, tying his shoelaces. All that's great, very imaginative stuff. And I think it started with The Sopranos. The Sopranos was the first intro to have, you know, just driving down the road, him in his car, you know what I mean? It was very, very artistic. And then everybody started copying it. So, yeah. But those ones are kind of like, they're the normal ones, but it got more fancier as the years went on, you know, the intros, didn't it? And the music as well. So,
Well, again, I didn't even put like Miami Vice in here either. You know, that's a great intro as well. I mean, that's the thing. They sold you on the shows with the intros back in the day. Now, there's a lot of shows you watch these days and they put you to sleep, the intros. You know, that's probably why they created
nobody sees it. Nobody sees
back
it.
then was all part of the identity for the show.
Yeah.
And it's always what you remembered. You know, that was it's like the best book cover ever. It's like the same thing for a TV show. You got to have a good intro it's got to have that packaging almost, you know. And that was what was just selling it just as much as everything in the show. And it served a really good purpose. So you have the intro on the show and also the end credits, and it kind of, while you're rushing around getting ready to watch it, you're in the kitchen grabbing a drink and a packet of crisps, or you're taking your shoes off and throwing your coat on a hook when coming in through the door, and the show would be starting. You know, it gave you that buffer zone to like get in, sit down, and get ready to watch it. Whereas these days, there's everything is kind of on demand now, so you can just watch anything as and when you want to watch it. We really are living in a different world, aren't we, these days?
We are also remember that there are lots of shows that started with the wrong intro and then they changed it. Like, for instance, the very first theme to Magnum wasn't very good, and they recognized that fact, and then they got the guy to compose it again, and now that's the theme we remember. Starsky and Hutch had a really bad theme when it first started. In fact, nobody wrote those themes. They're from jazz. They got them from jazz. I don't know, music somewhere, whatever, and it just seemed to fit that theme to Starsky and Hutch, the theme that we all know and love. So yeah, I mean, sometimes they get it wrong, but the best thing they can do is correct it. Hawaii Five-O's beginning sequence, you can't get any better than that. That camera zooms all the way to that rooftop with McGarrett turning around. it's terrific, isn't it? It's absolutely terrific, isn't it? That stuff. But what about the British one? We don't have any British ones, do we, John?
No, I mean, as Robert Payne has just said, you know, the first Fools and Horses, the intro to that, the theme music was completely different and just didn't work.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And I think it was even John Sullivan that actually wrote
he sang it.
Theme tune and sang it, didn't he? Yeah. And I mean, obviously, Doctor Who's an iconic theme tune for UK.
I thought the theme tune to The Professionals was great.
Oh, absolutely. One of the best ones ever. That card that comes through the window, because they had a different theme in the no, actually, it wasn't a different theme, it was different beginning. But that card that comes through the window just sets you up. You know there's going to be action in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What a brilliant theme. Great theme.
Fantastic. And Sword in the Storm, Grange Hill theme tune was great. But as my good mate Jeff from Sons and Shadows going, no love for MacGyver, Quantum Leap, Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, there is, mate. You know, I can't ignore them. They were that close to being put on here, but I thought Ian and Swappers wouldn't be able to talk.
What about British ones? The Sweeney they had a great theme for that. I don't know if you guys remember
Makepeace.
Dempsey Makepeace.
Yeah.
The thing about the Sweeney, right, it makes me laugh, is that show was definitely for adults. But yet, when you went to school, kids was like, "Did you see Regan with that baseball bat?" Well, should we be watching that? Should we watching it? I don't know. But yeah, interesting.
Well, there was loads of violence and professionals as well, wasn't there? Like, everyone was getting punched and put through glass and knocked over and gun shooting and all over. I mean, and that was at like quite early in the evening, so all us kids used to love it. But these days, my God, you'd never get that, would you?
No,
not a chance. Not a chance. I think you had.
Sorry, go ahead, John.
No, I was just going to say. I mean, you had a lot of things. I mean, Biker Grove as a kid was a great theme tune. You know, growing up. And there's an Australian one called Round the Twist that me and Swappers talked about previously.
That was great. You know, yeah, I used to love that.
That was a great intro and a great show, wasn't it? Really.
Oh, hilarious!
Oh yeah,
absolutely hilarious.
Garbage just got there as well. Yeah, saying the same thing. Yeah, Farsight, I just brought up a couple of minutes ago about Miami Vice that I just didn't have time to put that one on the list. But again, I'm just glad I grew up in that era, really.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's so many kids that didn't have that privilege that will never know the glory of experiencing all of this, and they'll probably look on it now and just shrug their shoulders and don't care. But that's because they never got to sample it and never got to experience it. If they had to drop all their devices and technology and everything now, and all their conveniences and all their screens and all their, mobile phone, everything, all of it, drop it, all the video games and everything, and they were picked up and dropped back in 1985, say, as a random year, and they got to see all this and socialize with people of the time and go out on bikes and play during that time until it was lighting up time, and they got that selection of shows that we got, they got the music we got, they got the movies we got. They suddenly realized how amazing it was within a very, very short period of time, and they wouldn't care about the devices or anything because they'd be having such a great time.
Well, I'm going to share with you guys just how much Street Hawk and Knight Rider and that had an influence on me. Okay, by this image here, this is the bike that I got in the 80s that Mum and Dad got me for my birthday.
Well, Amy
comes up. Yeah. Amy. Well, I asked for her, but I didn't get her. There it is, right? Rally Wolf. It was called. So
it was a version of the Vector.
Yeah,
there was a white one, wasn't there? Yeah.
So it's a BMX with a display screen on it, and you press the button, but on your handlebars, and it made a bleeping sound.
Street Wolf.
As well. Yeah, look at that. So I was living the dream. I was living Street Wolf in the 80s. There you go, guys. I just thought I'd share that because
the mag wheels on that were amazing. I love it.
I've kept that in for such a long time. It's I needed to talk to you guys about it. So
you don't still have it.
I go to work on it, mate.
I would as well.
Doing all my bunny hops on the curbs.
Yeah.
do you know what? This is what happens to John in the morning. He gets up, right, and then the big doors open like that, and he comes out on his bike and he flies in the air. He lands, and then he's off to work.
And I'm like, where's all this steam come from?
Yeah.
Where's the synth coming from? I can't understand who's playing this synth music at the same time. I'll get to the bottom of it one day. Never mind. I've got to go to work or I'll be late.
Yeah. I mean, again, it was a time when they were just like, we're going to entertain, we need to entertain people. Now, as we've said, it's so much is about the message as opposed to entertaining, isn't it?
Also,
they've lost sight of it.
Also, the fact that we were allowed to, as kids, to watch stuff like Dallas and Magnum PI, Sweeney, Professionals. We were allowed to watch stuff like that, and and the parents, they weren't too bothered, about us watching violence on TV. It's not like we were going to get a gun and shoot people and stuff like that. It was just, we understood it was just TV and it was just acting. Do you know what I mean? But it's gotten worse now, and I don't understand the thinking today. Today's
they say about TV influences violence, but
it doesn't.
I remember having a cap gun in the 80s constantly. That was a thing. Everyone in the neighborhood was had a cap gun. And you had the lower budget kids who didn't have enough money. They had the spud gun. Do you remember the spud gun? Just going into the potatoes and shooting away. So none of that made us go out on a killing spree, did it?
No,
We just
it
had we were
didn't.
playing cowboys and Indians, and recreating the shows we just watched on TV. But why did we not turn out that way? Because we were engaged with the hero in those shows, and we wanted to be that hero. Now, you kind of alluded to it before the show, Ian, when we were talking about a certain show that's just been on. They're trying to effectively eliminate that hero and downgrade that hero, and that's the trouble now.
Yep. Seems to be the template for every film and TV show coming from America and England. Actually, now it's even worse in England, for God's sakes. I don't know what's going, but as I said, independent filmmakers are going to hopefully put a stop to it. Hopefully, if they get stronger and stronger, they'll be making stuff that we want to see. Hence Obsession. Backrooms, I don't know.
Yeah.
That seemed like a co-production with Hollywood. I don't know, but Obsession is completely independent, and that was great. So,
yeah, and I think that when you're talking about sort of shows and movies, is there any are there any shows that you guys are thinking of going back to at the moment, or you've been watching that you're looking back on with fondness now? And
Reacher, I've been watching, and I saw the latest episode, and it does have look. Hello, Swappers has gone. The thing about it is that if they have a black actor to play like a policeman or something, I don't mind that. That's fine with me. At least they're not taking or being given me hand-me-downs from a character that was initially white and then changing a person to black. Because I don't believe in that. That's nonsense. That's complete nonsense.
Yeah.
If they're in characters for people of color, that's great. That's great. No show is perfect, though. That's the thing. And it depends on your point of view when you're watching it. If you're going to be nitpicky about a show and keep nitpicking about certain things, and the show is crap, you have every right to call it out. But if it's enjoyable, it's like Die Hard 2, right? Die Hard 2
Die Harder.
It's inherently stupid, right? The whole film is stupid, as if that would happen to him again. But it's so enjoyable that you're just carried away with it. And then at the end of the day, after the film was finished, you're walking out, you feel happy, you feel exhilarated, because it was a lot of fun. And that's the thing I think people should bear in mind when they're watching shows. If you're enjoying it, don't be too anyway. I don't know what I'm saying, but I think I made my point.
I think for me now, you can tell early on whether it's going to be smashing you over the head with messaging. Quite quickly. You can tell it's going to be one of those shows, and you can tell shows that are just going to, actually, this is a surprise. I'm really enjoying it. It's it's great. But I'm going to bring up I'm going to also bring up it's a recent film, okay, but I'm going to bring up of how bad it was, and it amazed me because of how bad it was, because it's Steven Spielberg, and it was Disclosure Day.
Oh, it's terrible.
And it was atrociously bad from the beginning to the end. And can I ask you a question? Have you both seen Disclosure Day?
I have.
You've seen it, Ian. Don't know about Swappers.
I don't think Swappers is
No, I opted out. I was very skeptical before it came out. The trailer didn't exactly sell me, and then I saw the early reviews, and I just thought, no way am I watching that. No way.
Yeah,
it sounded really tedious. And after I've seen E.T. and Close Encounters, you've seen Spielberg at his best, and then you look at this, and there's no way I'm giving this my money. No way.
No. I'm just going to say to you, and Ian, you've seen it.
Yeah.
If your girlfriend's in a rackety old house in the middle of nowhere, and there's a covert military team that are heading in to surround that house with cars, do you move towards that covert military team who are potentially trying to kill you, or do you run from them? Because the guy in it decides to run for them and get a car. It's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, it is ridiculous, and I don't understand what happened to Spielberg. Spielberg is not that stupid. I don't understand what's going on there. I mean, the conspiracy theory is that what's happening with the disclosure program in the States, that they wanted Spielberg to make this film, and they gave him a lot of money to make this film, even though he knew it was shit. That's the conspiracy theory behind it. But I don't know. All I know is the film wasn't very good. The logic behind it wasn't very good. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't exciting either. Even the bit on the train tracks, I thought, you're going to we know that nothing's going to happen to them. So, that
it was very, very peculiar. All of that, really. And again, whereas you switch back to watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and it's just wonderful from the first minute to the last minute, and it's again, like you say, you don't know what happened to Spielberg, because it's like you just think this doesn't feel at all like a Spielberg movie.
No, it doesn't
at all.
Not even the beginning. Not even, because Spielberg usually has something great in the beginning. He always has a great opener, but this film just started. You're like, huh? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I really don't. Do you know what? Right, what we suspect is probably what's actually happening. Do you know what I mean? Our worst fears are probably happening, but we don't really want to know about it. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I think you're right about Spielberg being told to make this movie for a reason, though. He didn't really want to make it. Yeah, and he kind of just went through the motions and thought, maybe I owe Hollywood for being promoted up the ladder several times throughout the years. I suppose I'll have to do this for them. I reckon that's what happened. I think you're right.
Maybe.
Well, there was always that conspiracy theory, wasn't there? Supposedly of, Ronald Reagan was sat next to him at the premiere of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and he leaned in and just said, "You don't know how close you are to the truth," to Spielberg.
Oh, I know that story. Yeah, they had a private screening at the White House, and I think Spielberg might have been there, and he leaned over and said to him, "The public has no idea how close to reality that this is."
Yeah,
that's what he said. Yeah. So, that's actually his words as well. That's on the record.
It's interesting though, because they made that big thing about religion and the aliens in Disclosure thing, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this woman's Catholic," whatever, and stuff like that. And it was just nothing in the film. Absolutely nothing.
It wasn't at all, was it?
It was nothing in there.
Holding the cross, ridiculous. Wasn't it?
Yeah,
holding the cross on the hand. That was it, wasn't it? And bleeding.
Yeah. It's just weird.
But I just I mean, again, for me, I think you've probably seen my tweet, but I'm watching 70s show from the movies, Kolchak the Night Stalker, at the moment again, and it's just great fun, really enjoyable.
Yeah, I missed that when it was originally shown, so I'm going to have to get into that.
So did I.
There is another show from that era as well, probably just a bit before it, that I remember sort of vaguely seeing as a little kid, called Project UFO.
Yeah, I remember that. I used to watch it. I used to watch it every week.
Yeah, it was based on Project Blue Book, which was the government's mini sort of agency operation set up to debunk UFO sightings. Yeah. So whether it was real or not, these guys would turn up and just say, "Oh no, it's not real," and that would kind of stop everyone from thinking, "Oh, there's aliens out there, there's spaceships, whatever." So that they were designed to allay everyone's worries about UFOs and things being real.
Yeah,
and the show was just really, really interesting, even though they debunk everything in it, and you never get to
not
see
everything.
Anything. But
not
no,
everything.
You're right. But that was their goal, was to try and debunk everything. That was their mission. The effects in it were great for the time, for a TV show, and it's really great seeing those really old practical effects of those models and things that they design, crazy spaceships and things like that. It's just so good watching that. And this was like back in late 70s. Man, I tell you what, that's really worth revisiting, that show.
So good. I mean, Julie Coonan in the chat. Yeah, it's called Kolchak, beginning with a K, the Night Stalker, and it's really good.
I was hoping the guy, I can't remember the actor's name who's in it, would have actually played Kolchak in that episode of the X-Files that he guested in.
Yeah, exactly. Because he didn't want to, did he? Because Chris Carter wanted him, because Chris Carter said Kolchak was a massive inspiration for the X-Files. And he did want him to come back as being an older Kolchak, but he didn't want to be that character. So he got him as just being who he was in it, because he was just he was a retired FBI agent, I think, in the show in X-Files. But yeah, it would have been great if you just had that nod. It would have been brilliant.
I would love to have seen a crossover between Kolchak and Kojak.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So what
That-
you gonna say?
no, I saw the X-Files movie, the one with Billy Connolly in it. The re-edit for
What do you think?
To tell you the truth, I saw the original in the cinema and I couldn't remember it. So I watched this without the memory of the last time I saw it. And you know what? It's okay. It's not a theatrical film. It really isn't. There's nothing in there that says this film belongs in the cinema. It's like a long version of an episode from the X-Files. And
Yeah.
it's enjoyable up to a point. Do you know what I mean? But there's a rumor that they gave him this because they didn't want him complaining about the new version, the X Black Files that are coming out. Do you know what I mean? So they didn't want him to complain about that, so they gave him this and said, right, re-edit it because we know you didn't agree with the version that you released in the cinema. Give us the version that you want, just to please Chris Carter. So but I'm not even going to watch the new one because again, that's hand-me-downs. That's basically taking something that's quite successful and giving it to black people. Black people don't deserve that, in my opinion. They deserve original character. They deserve original ideas for them to progress further instead of actually, becoming Black Thor or Black Spider-Man or, all this rubbish. Create new characters for people of color.
People can smell that kind of that pandering a mile away, like a rancid wheelie bin that's had 3 chicken carcasses in it and it's been sitting out all summer. People just know, they know it, what's happening, and they know that they're being spoon-fed crap to kind of appease people, and they'll just tune out or they won't even look in the first place. The only reason it will get any views whatsoever is because it's got the X-Files labeling on it. That's it.
That is absolutely true.
I'm not going anywhere near that at all. I've already written down on a sheet of paper doomed to fail already for that one. But you can't recreate that iconic show.
No, you can't.
It was, from its time, it was perfect. Everything worked at that time to make it a success.
But if you look at X-Files very carefully, it has the classic things. It has, good-looking fella, good-looking woman. As it went on, she got better and better looking. Do you know what I mean? It had mystery. It had disgusting things that happened in it. It was the kind of show that you'd gravitate towards. I hear that in America, they tried to put it on a night that nobody's watching because they're kind of trying to move it around the schedule. I think they put it on the Friday night, which is like the doom slot that nobody watches, and people were still watching it. So that just goes to show how successful the show was and how ingrained in their mind about UFOs and stuff like that. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I think I think the X-Files, when you look back at it, I mean, we touched upon it last week, didn't we? And we touched upon the first X-Files movie in '98 and just how good that was, because that was peak X-Files at that time. It was firing on all cylinders. And then I think season 6 onwards, it kind of started going downhill.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, you had season 8 where Mulder goes missing because he's abducted. And then you've got season 9, which is, season 8, Doggett's there with Scully, and they flipped it, didn't they? They had Scully as the believer and Doggett as the skeptic, which you should never do. But then for me, they made the cardinal sin. I think they essentially made them get together. I don't think they ever should have made them become a couple, in my opinion. I just don't think it.
Actually, it didn't spoil it. In my opinion, it didn't spoil it because in X-Files, I want to believe that one, the latest one with Chris Carter re-edited, they were together, and it was still, the dynamic between them both was still good. Do you know what I mean? And it still worked as a. It's just when the whole show relies on that romance, like Moonlighting. Once they got together, once she got pregnant, that was it. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't reliant because you had spooky stuff that was happening all the time. You had UFOs, you had aliens, you had crazy things that happen on Earth and stuff like that. So it wasn't relying on their relationship, even though their relationship was a huge part of the show. It wasn't reliant on it, in my opinion, of course. I don't know.
I think for me, I mean, when you look back, I mean, there's iconic ones and stories, you know, from X-Files, and it's not just the conspiracy ones. It's like Tooms is a classic, you know, Eugene Tooms, where he's great. Just, I mean, that the jump scares in that are off the scale, you know, but it's top drawer stuff. Was there anything on a level with it throughout the 90s, do you think, for TV shows?
Yes, there was Manimal. Do you remember that show, Manimal? It was awful. Yeah. I think it lasted for one season, wasn't it? And it just got ripped because nobody was watching it. I don't know. But there wasn't anything like the X-Files on to combat it, was there, on TV?
Don't think so.
There were spin-offs, wasn't there? There were spin-offs, John.
Oh, yeah, The Lone Gunman. That was awful.
And Millennium, is it Millennium?
Millennium, that was good. Yeah. That was really good. I'm surprised. It's a shame that didn't go longer, actually, because I was enjoying Millennium. You know, it was creepy. It was proper creepy as well, wasn't it? And you're right. They did do the crossover with Millennium in the X-Files, didn't they? You know, because the cult that he was once part of, they were like raising the dead. I think that was what they were doing.
But one of the most famous episodes in the X-Files was when the lone gunman was trying to figure out what these terrorists are doing, and they were going to take over a plane and fly it into the Twin Towers. Remember that episode?
Yeah,
that was before it actually happened. So that's pretty scary when you think about it, isn't it? They stopped it, obviously. They stopped it from happening, but that was years before the tragedy in America. You know, so like that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it just you can't make it up, can you? Really, no. It's stunning. I mean, what was the name of that Spielberg UFO series?
Taken.
Yeah, that's it.
Taken. Yeah. That was all right.
It started in the 40s, didn't it? And it kind of worked through the decades.
Yeah.
That was it. But you know, Swappers, anything else you're particularly thinking of going and watching at the moment? Yeah. Yeah.
I want to rewatch the X-Files, definitely, because there's loads of stuff now I'd probably see in a completely different light all these years on. Definitely I want to watch Ulysses 31 again because I just adored it and it was so great. Even as an adult now, I can really appreciate the writing. I can appreciate the fact it's a new take on the Odyssey. The animation is beautiful. The soundtrack is beautiful. Everything about it is a masterclass in entertainment and animation. And I know it's a kid's show, but it's done so well. It's one of those things that you can just appreciate at any age. It doesn't matter. I've got to go back and watch Kolchak because I do not remember it at all. And I want to finish off watching Project UFO as well. There's probably loads of others, but those are the ones that immediately come to mind. And I think I really wish, speaking of the guys that wrote X-Files and Millennium and Lone Gunman, I really wish that Space Above and Beyond had got another series.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ahead of its time. I remember on my PC, you probably remember, Swappers, a game called Wing Commander.
Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to play it on my PC, but it's because it's all sprite based. It's not polygons. It's all sprite based. It's very difficult to play because it's quite jerky, low frame rate. And back then it was kind of brilliant, you know. But you look at it now and it's kind of a bit difficult to control and stuff because of the fact it was made on such ancient technology. I really wish they'd remastered those first two original games because I remember salivating over those. When I saw them in magazines, you know, so great.
There is a guy doing a single-handed sort of remaster project on it. So he's working on it as we speak. Wow. And every now and again, I forget the name. He's doing he's putting up clips, and it looks amazing. So
if you got any info.
Yeah, if I can track it down, I'll send it over to you. But that is, like you were saying, that series was basically Wing Commander for me. You know, thankfully not the horrible Freddie Prinze Jr. movie that we got sort of in the late 90s, which was terrible. But Yeah, I mean, Farsight says here, yeah, season 2, the human fluke worm episode of the X-Files was a
Wow.
great episode. You know,
Yeah.
that was proper creepy monster of the week kind of stuff, wasn't it?
They didn't. The studio didn't want Gillian Anderson to play Scully. They wanted this other actress, and they were saying she wasn't pretty enough, you know. And she lied about her age as well. She said she was 28 when she was 24 to star in the show. So yeah. But you know, she was, you know, the first episode you see her in, she's like wearing glasses, she's a bit dumpy, you know, she's a bit round, you know, with her hair like up to her ears and stuff. But as the show went on, she just became hot, didn't she? She just got hotter and hotter as the season went on.
Oh, blimey.
So,
yeah.
you
know, and her buttons getting more and more unbuttoned as they went throughout the seasons as well. I was like, blimey, you know, that was before 4K.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's a great show. It really is terrific.
Another show I'm going back to because I want to revisit. I haven't watched them for years, quite a few years now, but I adored them. At the time, it was Buffy. I want to see how that stands up Buffy now. Yeah, and I liked it more. Angel. I was a big Angel fan. More.
Yeah.
I thought that was great, and the ending for Angel was fantastic. You know, just they go out with they don't win. You know, they don't succeed. So that was another great show that I enjoyed at the time. And I don't want any revisits or reboots or anything of Angel. Just leave it as it is.
Is that it had a Blake Seven ending then? Because I never saw the ending.
Yeah, so essentially, for anyone who hasn't seen it, just close your ears for a second. But effectively, what I like about Angel is the fact that they don't win in the end, and it's kind of like, even though the message is kind of like, even though you're not going to win, you need to at least go out fighting. And it's great. And the last line that Angel says in the entire show is, "Personally, I just want to slay the dragon." That's it. And it ends the whole run of Angel. It is a fantastic series. So I highly recommend it. You know,
I saw an interview with him today, because you know he's playing Jim Rockford in the Rockford Files, and he was wearing the suit and everything, and he looks so much. He does resemble.
Fair play to him. Yeah,
he does resemble. What's his name? Who's the guy that played him? I can't remember. That's gone out of my head.
But, I know you mean.
Yeah, he does resemble him a bit. Which is gonna, and they were asking him, "Do we have the car?" And he goes, "Yep, we've got the car." So there you go. They've got the car. The car is back. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this update version of Rockford Files, because you know the Rockford Files is purely a 70s show with the answer machine, and you know, his thing is he lives on the beach on all that stuff is 70s LA. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this show, whether it's going to be a reflection of it, how they're going to update it, because you've got mobile phones now. You don't really need a message machine. How they're going to start it.
That was a great intro. So good.
Yeah, how they're going. Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be interesting. So we'll see, right?
I will wait for your reviews of it, Ian, before I jump in. But if it's good, then I'll watch it definitely.
Yeah. He does look the part though. He really does look the part. So I used to love watching it. That was like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the evening, BBC One, wasn't it? Rockford Files. So I used to love
before my time, but I bought the set last year, and it was just an absolute joy going all the way through it.
Yeah. But do you remember that ITV and BBC One used to buy American shows in, and Prime Time was an American show. Today it's British shows, Prime Time. But in those days, it was Dallas at 9, you know, Dynasty, or Dynasty, as anyone would call it, and you know, Rockford Files. You know, all those shows, they were American shows that people loved watching.
Yeah,
you know, people at home, you know, millions of people used to watch Rockford Files.
It's quite amusing that they're going to have to change technology into mobile phones now and whatever. But back in like the 80s, early 80s, whenever it was, we were watching the intro to that show and seeing an answering machine and going, "Wow, amazing futuristic technology! Oh my god!"
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. I mean, another show which is probably beyond you guys' time is Starsky and Hutch. Starsky and Hutch is celebrated 9 o'clock Saturday evenings. Millions of people used to watch that show. And you know what? The first season started off with always ends with a big punch up or shootout, and as the seasons went on, there was complaints about violence, and the violence was slowly taken out of the show, and that's when they lost the viewers, in my opinion. They really lost it. But same thing happened with Sweeney. Same thing happened with Minder. If you saw the first season of Minder, there was always a big fight in it. I remember he had a fight on the bus, and it was blood everywhere. And it just turned into a comedy, Minder, as the episodes went on. But yeah, that was prime time as well, wasn't it? Minder, was it 8 o'clock?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was. But like I say, I grew up in the 80s. Like I mentioned it earlier, you had Dempsey and Makepeace.
Yeah, it's great.
That was an American cop show in London.
Well, it was a British show, but it was an American in London. He escapes from the mob, doesn't he? Because they said you should leave the country, the mob's going to get you, and he escapes. He ends up over here. But he said that big gun, didn't he?
He did. It's like he didn't even have a permit to carry it.
Yeah. And I like his boss, Spikins, always shouting at him.
It was a good show. It was a good. Yeah, we used to watch it as a family. It was really good. We, I think for me, I was lucky. It was a time when there were kind of the American imports were coming into the UK, so of shows. So I was getting flooded with them as a kid. It was really good fun. I will also say though that a show that I purchased last year and watched for the first time, I think I mentioned it on our previous show, was The Persuaders. And it's a phenomenal show. It's just such good fun all the way through it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad I've got it in the collection. Just such good fun.
It's just fun. That's all it is. And also the dialogue was made up by Roger and Tony, as they were, because like they didn't know. So I think it was Lou Grade that produced it, and he wanted to bring the American aesthetic to England. So that's why they hired, I think they didn't want to go to Tony Curtis, but they hired Tony Curtis. Roger Moore was in there. But the way the banter between those two was just great, because they were just kind of making it up. They had the lines, but they kind of exaggerate them and stuff like that. And, it just really, really fantastic show. Really good show.
That's it. James Garner, Anthony's just mentioned. Yeah, great actor. Did Maverick as well, didn't he?
He did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Jeff has mentioned it as well, which is great. So I love these two. It's either Anthony or Jeff that always pick me up on it. Within seconds, they've pounced.
James Garner also had a huge hit with sequels to Support Your Local Sheriff. The movie, he made a movie called To Support Your Local Sheriff. He thought it was going to flop, but it was a huge hit. So I had to make a sequel to it. I don't know if you know about those two films. No? Okay.
No, don't know anything about them. But I was going to say about Rockford Files, when I was setting up this channel, I was very close to doing like an intro of Rockford Files with like the answer machine. and it was going to be, hi, this is John, I can't be here right now, and I would just make up something and then just go into the show. But I thought I'll just get a copyright strike for it, so I won't bother.
Well,
it would have been good.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, no, so there were some really great shows, really great American shows. Heart to Heart, of course. Yeah, Heart to Heart was an enjoyable show. I wouldn't say I warmed to it, but my parents used to love watching it. Heart to Heart. But yeah, I mean, again, right, it's interesting. Today we really don't have anything, really, let's face it. We because of this streaming stuff, there's no discipline. The show's going to start at 9 o'clock and you have to be there, because you can watch it any time now. And it's just, I don't know, maybe, I'm an old fogey. Kids do what they want to do. And this generation is new. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, again, lot of people are talking about Dempsey and Makepeace. We've got Farsight, who's basically, I think he's admitting his crush for Glynis Barber, but you know,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't blame him.
She was lovely. But once those two got together, the show was over, though. That was the thing. That's the same thing with that
Yeah.
show as well. Do you remember Swappers? Do you remember Grange Hill? Grange Hill had fights in it. They had fights. I remember
Yeah, it
seeing
did.
there was a big fight in the toilet, between this black guy and, do you know what I mean? It's like they'll never do that now. Never.
I remember being really young, say about like 4 years old, 5 years old, and watching that and being really scared because I thought it was real, back then you think it was real.
Yeah.
But man, it was an edgy show, wasn't it? It was really kind of raw and
Well, Zammo flipping jacking up and ODing in the toilets as well. You know, that's the fact
that
it was they went to the White House.
Years. That was like years later when they kind of toned it all down as well.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Trisha called Benny I can't remember, I can't say the word. It wasn't the N word. It was a nignog. She called him. But she goes, it isn't your fault you're a nignog. It's like you'll never get away with that today.
And then you like have BBC like writing afterwards or at the end going, if you've been offended by the language of the show, you could write to the BBC at PO Box.
Yeah. There's a sequence in there where Tucker and Alan, the blonde guy, went in to get fish and chips, and there was this I can't remember, he had a different accent, the guy that was serving the chips, and they were taking the mickey out of him with his accent. So that exists, that episode exists. So again, that it was okay in those days. Today it's not, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Grange Hill.
Grange Hill was just such a weird one. Like I say, when you had that drug overdose story, and the way they did the silent ending to the episode, and he's just there, on the toilet floor,
but he isn't dead. But he wasn't dead. He was spaced out, wasn't he?
No, he died. He died. Did he? Yeah,
no.
He died. Yeah.
Really?
Zammo died. It was Zammo that died, wasn't it? Yeah.
I can't remember.
So correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but anyone who's from the US, basically Grange Hill was a UK kids show that talked about effectively, topical subjects about, right and wrong that was effectively going on in a school. And it was a great show. It started in the 70s. It finished, I think, 1991. Had a great theme tune. But when he jacked up in the toilets and he was dead, do you remember they released that single "Just Say No" with the girls, with the kids from Grange Hill, and so much so they went to the White House in the US and met Nancy Reagan.
I know,
That's how big it got. That's Grange Hill, everybody. But what can you do? Zammo, yeah. I think it was Zammo.
There was Zammo. There was Roland. Yeah, Roland.
Yeah.
Who's the black girl that liked Roland? I can't remember her name. She was quite funny. But when Grange Hill started, schools were like that. Because I know, because I went to one of those schools, and my school was rough.
Based on your life.
It really was rough. But just saying that schools were like that. If you watch Kess, the movie Kess, that's basically what we used to put up with in our school. So way before you were born, mate. We had the ruler, we had the cane, we had the slipper. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
They still did it in my era. When my era, when they banned corporal punishment, but there was still those old school male teachers that were around in like the 50s, but they didn't believe and agreed to the fact that it had ended. And you still had those teachers that they would launch. Remember those hard wooden chalk rubbers?
Yeah.
Launch them across the room at you. Like completely wipe you out. I
teachers would hit you around the head. Teachers would hit you around the head. They'll slap you around the head if you're misbehaving. It was a different time. I mean, kids today, they don't really know, do they? What it was like, but I don't know. It's better. Yeah, I guess it's better today. I guess for them anyway. I don't know.
I know. And what about you, Swappers? I bet you still got the box set of Grange Hill somewhere, haven't you, Swappers?
I never Never bought any of them, no, but I did enjoy it when it was on. From about 1980, I want to say 1983 onwards. Probably actually before that. 1983 is when I really, really got into it. Though I kind of got to a certain age, and I kind of just it was really well written kids TV entertainment, and it just kind of resonated with me. I really enjoyed it. The characters were likable. They had some great cliffhangers in it, and it was getting really good at that point.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still really enjoyed it as a little kid, but I've just found it really scary. I just remember like watching what they were doing and seeing kids get away with things. And it was always like while the teacher's out of the class. Quick, climb the step ladder that the decorators have left in there, and see if you can get over it before the teacher comes back, things like that. And I was just sitting there biting my nails, going, "Oh my god, they're going to get so done! Oh my god!" It was like that every single time, and I was always scared of going to big school because I always thought I was going to get all the horrible treatment that you see on episodes of Grange Hill, and the teacher's going to be really nasty and all that kind of stuff. And I was really, really cacking it when I was 11 and just about to go to the big school. I just wanted like primary school to last forever, and it just because of Grange Hill, I feared school so much.
Same here. Remember Gripper?
Yeah.
Everybody's scared of Gripper.
I was always the comedian at school, so the bullies laughed at my jokes, so I was always safe. I was like a protected person. So I was always all right, but you'd see him like wailing on someone as you walk past the school gates, and the parents were just outside not giving a stuff about it.
Yeah.
Seeing some kid getting pummeled in the playground. That's what school was like in the 80s,
wasn't it? It's really weird how accepted all that was.
Yeah, it was. My school was terrible. Teachers didn't give a hoot about your education. I remember in art, there used to be this teacher named Mr. Richards, and we used to go in there and he'd go, "Right, paper's over there, charcoal's over there, carry on." Do you know what I mean? He never taught us anything. All we did was scribble on freaking paper, and that was the lesson. Do you know what I mean? My school was terrible, absolutely terrible. I learned nothing at my school. Absolutely nothing, but I had fun learning nothing. So it's changed though, because when you have an exam, right, in today, when you have an exam, they will send you an email to tell you whether you passed or not. But in my day, there was no such thing as email, so you had to literally go back to the school, look on the board, and see if you passed your exams. They had a whole list of people, that kind of thing. So
I'm gonna apologize to you, Ian. People in the chat have corrected me to say Zamo did survive. He did. He got clean. So I feel a bit happier about the world today, because for all these years I thought Zamo died due to jacking up in the toilets at the school. But in fact, he survived. So thank you, everybody. I can live again. I can move forward now. Thank you very much. So there we go. And I mean, again, when you're talking about shows, is there any shows also that you're thinking back on at the moment, guys?
Kids shows?
Anything
today?
that you'll think, anything that you're looking back on and you're thinking, I really want to watch that again. You're getting that retro feel for it.
I don't know. The show I really liked, and probably people won't remember it was Up Against the Professionals, and I used to watch both of them because in those days we had a Betamax recorder. I used to watch Shoestring. Do you remember Shoestring, the private detective on BBC One? I used to like watching that show. For some reason, it kind of appealed to me, even though it was slower than the Professionals. I liked who's the guy that plays Shoestring? Trevor Reeves.
I know you mean.
Trevor Reeves. Yeah, Trevor Reeves was really good at that, in that role. He used to get beaten up quite a lot though, but I thought it was compelling viewing when I used to watch the show. But hey,
that was around the same time as the Kit Curran radio show as well, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was all right. And
Wedge Antilles.
Oh yes, of course.
Whatever happened to Jimmy Nail? Remember that early 90s? He did Spender, and it was massive.
Spender.
And then he did that quality. He did. Remember when he released Ain't No Doubt?
Yeah. He was big.
He started. He's big, wasn't he?
Wasn't he?
Crocodile shoes and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he just.
And he was He wasn't a very good looking fella, though, was he? Let's face it. And I never understood Spender. Was he a policeman? Was he a private eye? Was never made to me anyway. Maybe I didn't watch enough shows. He was always investigating something, but I didn't know who he worked for. So it was an odd one. It was an odd one.
It was, yeah. I kind of never got it at all. It was around the same time as Boone, wasn't it? With Michael Elphick in.
Boone, yeah. That intro was a good intro as well, wasn't it?
It was.
For Boone.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Boone.
Well,
Was it like Crusader or something like that? It's like with saxophones and stuff.
Yeah.
And with Neil Morrissey in it. Was it Neil Morrissey?
Yeah,
Neil Morrissey when he had his long hair, didn't he?
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
I can't remember the character's name. It was funny though. But yeah, one of the first shows I ever remember ever seeing, I think I must have been about 2 or 3 when it first showed, was the one on my picture right now. And
Big John, Little John.
That show about me.
well, that's one of the reasons why I put it up, because I'm gonna have to like do some kind of AI piggery pokery on it and see if I can put your face on it, like so make you look older and make you look younger.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
But yeah, I used to love it as a little kid. But you watch the intro now, God, it's creepy as hell. But you didn't think that when you were little. But I really loved it when I was about 3 or 4 years old. I just found it really funny and it just kind of like one of those comfortable, warm, kind of comforting shows to watch, a bit like the Brady Bunch. But if no one's ever seen it, go back. It's like a really interesting 1970s curio.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I thought you might have done. Yeah, you're kind of you would have been a bit more aware of what was on TV at the time than me. I was just barely aware of the world, let alone TV.
Yeah, but they used to play that clip, didn't they? Every week where he was changing. It was the same clip they played.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
As if the budget wasn't low enough already.
Exactly.
They just replay that.
Yeah. Sorry, John, what were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, before we carry on with what we're talking about, we've got 55 people in the chat. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Hit that like and subscribe button so we can grow the channel. It could be the YouTube police, all 55 of them coming to get me. But I was just going to say, after the show, anybody who's here, make sure you go and subscribe and you go and watch Mr. Brown Alliance channel on YouTube, because he's got a live show coming up talking about, entertainment subjects and what's going on in the world. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and go there next, everybody. Do it. Yeah.
Do you guys remember Different Strokes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And how tragic.
Filmed down here in Boscombe.
Yeah.
Not Different Strokes, sorry. I'm thinking about Brush Strokes.
No,
Strokes is
Different Strokes.
Gary Coleman. Yeah.
But how tragic. How tragic with that cast. I mean, the only one that's alive is Willis, the guy who plays Willis. He's the only one that he was did drugs and everything. He was down and out, and obviously now he's fixed up his life. But the girl died, the little guy died. Obviously, Mr. Drummond, obviously, because he was old, he died as well. But I remember an episode where this guy, the next door neighbor, was having a go at Mr. Drummond and his kids, and he said the word, and then Mr. Drummond punched him in the face because he was slagging off the 2 black kids. I don't know if you remember that episode. That to me when I was watching that, was shocking. I thought, frick, what the hell? This guy punched that guy out.
We love those kids. The older white girl and the 2 black kids. We love them all. Willis and I can't remember the little kid's name. Gary Coleman's character. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah.
Arnold or something like that, was it? I can't remember.
I think so. I can't remember. Yeah.
And we never once thought about race. We never once thought about it. We just love the characters. We love the actors. We love the show. And there was and race was probably played a part in a few episodes, but it was never a prominent thing ever. And we just kind of got on with it and never really dwelled on it. And it just was great, solid entertainment. And they were great actors and great characters. And we just can't have that now.
Yeah.
No, and you're right. And again, I can't think the last time when I was truly invested in a character and I was like, I want to see what they're going to get up to next week. I was hooked on what they were going to do. I can't remember, to be honest. I don't know about you. I mean, probably, I would say for me personally, it's probably going to be sort of a Doctor Who when Doctor Who was good. Or Stargate Atlantis, something like that, which I really enjoyed. But sorry, Supernatural. I did Supernatural. The characters there were well written. Yeah, I don't know. What about you guys? How do you think that's ever going to come back? Do you reckon where we're going to have characters that we're really invested in again, or is it done?
No, it's because the kids of today, they don't have the patience to sit for a TV show. Some of them may, but I think the whole landscape is changing now when it comes to entertainment, and it's never going to be the same. Only old farts like me will sit and watch an episode. As I said, I saw this thing on YouTube where this guy was asking people questions on the street, and he asked this one girl, he said, so what do you watch? And she goes, I watch TikTok. And she went, yeah, I watch clips from Severance. And he said, did you ever watch Severance? And she went, no, but I feel I've watched it. I've seen so many clips on TikTok that I feel that I've watched it. I don't really need to watch it now. And that's where we're going. That's it all really about entertainment today, that kids can only endure like 10 minutes, maybe even less than that when it comes to screen, unless you put them in a cinema and they have no choice but to watch the film. But it's changing. Everything's changing.
Just to let everybody know what I said a couple of minutes ago about Mr. Brown Alliance after the show, I've just pinned the link to his YouTube channel in the chat, so you can just click in there and go in there and like and subscribe to it, and check it out because it's a great channel. It's good to see Ian here tonight in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. I mean shows.
What about science fiction shows, John? Science fiction shows. Apart from the Stargate and Quantum Leap,
about coming back,
was there any? Because Britain made a couple of science fictions. They made Bugs. Remember that shit? That was rubbish. Bugs on BBC One. And what else did they make?
With Henry from Neighbours.
That's right.
Rockland.
Tripods. Do you remember the tripods? I don't know if you're too young to remember that.
That was a weird one.
Blake Seven, obviously. Blake Seven's quite famous now. It was terrible. It was awful. Didn't have any money to make it properly. What other British sci-fi is Quatermass, which is probably beyond your time.
I got the set of fantastic.
All right,
fantastic shows.
Great mess. British sci-fis were hit and miss. When you think about Tomorrow People, season 1 was good. The rest of it was absolute bollocks. As I said, England is not very good at sci-fis. Or correct me if I'm wrong. Are there any other Brit sci-fis that people liked?
Blake Seven was highly regarded, wasn't it? I think a lot of people in the US, and they did a US version of it from 2005-6, was Being Human. I think people. I didn't take to that personally, but people got on board with it. I think there's also. I think the trouble is, and again, swappers, Ian, and people in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think that the talent is out there. Not just in the UK, but also worldwide, for talented writers to out there to create some magic, but they're just not getting the opportunities because they may think differently, politically or ideologically to how the people running those shows are.
You've
got to have the same political views as the establishment, otherwise they won't let you in. And also,
that's the problem.
And you've got to have a social media following, and you've got to have all this crap now that you've got to pull around with you on a trolley, and it can't just be about the creative ability.
The idea, Oh, do you remember Filmation made 2 Saturday morning live action sci-fis? Do you remember? I can't remember what they were called. One of them had Scotty from Star Trek in it. I can't remember what it was called. What was it called? Anybody on the chat could remind me of the 2 shows that Filmation made? And they were both sci-fis, and apparently it cost them a lot of money. I think over here it was Saturday mornings that they used to play it. And the guy who played Scotty, he had to leave because they were making Star Trek the motion picture. So he left and he got replaced by somebody else that I can't remember. I can't remember the names of those shows at all. But I used to watch it. It was obviously after Star Wars. So... especially if it went too bad.
I think it was Jason of Star Command.
Oh yes, that was one of them, and I can't remember the other one with Scotty in it. I can't remember what that one was called.
Was it Arc 2 maybe?
I can't remember. But yeah, there's but so you know there was sci-fi shows, but Britain wasn't very good at making sci-fis. I think the only three big ones in Britain, again, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, is Red Dwarf, Blake Seven, Doctor Who.
Yeah,
I can't remember any other show that lasted so long that's still in the memories of people. You know, I don't know. Can you think of any swappers?
I don't think so.
There isn't, is it? It's a shame, really, because England has a great imagination. Obviously, was it? What's that? Based on the book, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But that was a one-off that BBC made, and it was quite cheap as well. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But that's it, really. When you think about it, they haven't really explored sci-fi England, have they? Really? Let's face it.
No.
I said unless I'm wrong, because I can't think of any more Brit sci-fis that were good.
There was a really good one in the 90s. It was only one season, but I really enjoyed it. And it had Fred Ward from Remo and Armed and Dangerous in it. Called, I can't remember the name of it. It was like sort of Battlefield Earth or something like that. But it was a British show as well, and it had some American talent in it. And the special effects and everything were like through the roof for the time. I couldn't believe it, and it was really compelling. I watched every episode. It was really dark, really scary, and it had a really kind of downbeat ending as well, which which was kind of not common at the time. But yeah, if you've never seen it, God, you need to watch that one. I'll just try and find the name of it.
Oh, okay.
Can I share an image from a 70s episode of Doctor Who with the Third Doctor? Because, you know, I'm a big Doctor Who fan, as you know, okay? But I want to ask you guys this. Was the Third Doctor, John Pertwee, was he boasting that he got enhancements after his regeneration in this story? That is in the story. Look at the shape of it, you know, and it's called Tom Tit.
Oh my God.
Looks like
so do you think the production team were having a go, taking the mick out of that one, having a laugh behind the scenes?
It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to give a little clue to the companion.
Again, right, it's incredible, isn't it, that they do stick in these little things that you don't think you'll notice, but somehow you do in these shows, whether it be Doctor Who, whether it be anything, they do stick them in. In fact, right, the designer of the Channel 4 building had a little laugh, but nobody noticed it. If you go all the way up to the top of the Channel 4 building, you look down, there's balls and penises, balls and a penis shape when you look down from the building. And I should know because I have looked at it. So what they've got is when you go towards Channel 4 building, you've got two rotating doors, one on the left and one on the right. And in the middle of the two rotating doors, you've got a ramp that you walk up. So you can either take the two rotating doors or you can just walk up the ramp and go through the doors that open by itself. And so when you look down from the building, it looks like two balls and a penis. It really does. I'm not joking. If you ever get a chance, it's in Channel 4 is in Victoria. If you ever get a chance to look at the Channel 4 building, go and see what I mean. So they do stick these things in. Actually, it's quite apt for Channel 4, let's face it. But there you go. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. But as I said, there's no sci-fi. I can't think of any other
Ultraviolet. Jeff has just mentioned from the 90s. That was a vampire show.
British
vampire show. Yeah, that was a British show. That was the guy. One of the guys from This Life was the lead in it. He just finished This Life, and you're not the guy that did The Walking Dead. It was the other one. One of the other guys. I forget the name.
Right.
Invasion Earth, as Jeff said. I remember that. That was.
I don't remember.
Invasion Earth. Yeah, Ian, if you've never watched it, track it down. You'll really enjoy it. You genuinely really enjoy it. The aliens.
Okay.
Super scary, man. Oh my God, I still can't believe the BBC had the budget to do it at the time, but it's well worth tracking down. You'll really like it. There's not too many episodes to get through either.
Okay, I'll check that out. Invasion Earth. I've never seen it. I don't even remember it.
Yeah, it was really well done for the time, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I'll check it out. But it's a shame, as I said, it's a shame really that the BBC doesn't try and make sci-fis anymore. They're more or less into their costume dramas or their police dramas, aren't they? With the DEI leads in it, basically. So yeah,
I think the thing is,
Star Cops.
if you do the if you get got good writers and do proper sci-fi, you can tell fantastic stories. I mean, you know, I've over the years I've known people that go, "Oh, I won't watch that. It's sci-fi," and then I go, "Look, just get past episode 6 of the first season of something," and they come back to me and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's fantastic." You know, I'm hooked now, and they keep going. The thing that I've just started, and people rave about, and I'm enjoying it so far, is Terry Matalas, who did Star Trek Picard season 3, 12 Monkeys series. And I'm enjoying that. That's not British, but I'm enjoying it.
I think when Star Trek started, it was the start of satellite TV. You know, so you know when Star Trek came on, you started on BBC Two, didn't it?
Yeah.
Star Trek: The Next Generation, and then it get transferred. I can't remember. Did Sky steal it? I can't remember. There were loads of episodes that was on the BBC, and then the next season you had to try and watch it on Sky because they stole it from them. I can't, you know. So I don't know whether Star Trek was one of them, but I think the X-Files might be one of them. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's
X-Files started on BBC Two. I believe, yeah. And then it became so successful it jumped across, didn't it, to BBC One?
So did Quantum Leap started on BBC Two as well, I think.
It did. You're right. Leap, I mean, and again, that was, what was it, 1990? It suddenly became at school. It was all the rave. Everybody was talking about. Have you watched the latest episode of Quantum Leap? And just hooked. I adore Quantum Leap. It's just such a good show. And again, when they talk about all of this, you know, they have to talk about racism and stuff today. Quantum Leap did that 30 odd years ago, and it was well written.
Yeah, Sliders. Yeah, somebody mentioned Sliders. Yeah, it's interesting. It's, as I said, it's interesting, the shows that we had in the old days. But again, as I said, it was a different world then, where you had to be there to see the show, because there was no, you could tape it, of course, right? But usually you were there for when it started, because you had to press the record button on on your video machine. But in those days you had to. You couldn't. And I remember this thing came where you could actually time it, can't you? You can press the timer and it'll start recording at the time it started. I remember that they started introducing that to videos as well. But you know, again, right, it was a different world. Today everybody's on their phones. In those days there were no phones. You had to be there to see the show. But Captain Scarlet was great. Invasion Earth.
I mean, like you brought up tripods, Ian, and the tripods for me, I remember as a kid I just thought it was quite boring, and they only, I think only one season they did, or 3 stories. I think 3 episodes, but it was meant to be. They never finished the book out, did they? You know, that was the thing.
I think because nobody was watching it. I think, and they had to take it off. I think so. But BBC Two, Quantum Leap. I remember Quantum Leap.
9 p.m. Yeah, it was so good.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. And also, do you remember the cartoons on Saturday morning? Spider-Man and his super friends, whatever it was, Super Justice League, all those cartoons. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But you know,
well, again, that's all gone now. You don't even have a Saturday morning show on terrestrial television anymore, do you? And that's the shame of it all, really.
Well, times change, isn't it? We're all it's a different world now, you know, and
it's like 24/7 cartoons now. So why would you need a show having stars on to interview? That's kind of their mindset now, isn't it? Really?
Do they don't have Cartoon Network anymore? I think that's stopped.
I don't know if they have that. I'm pretty sure. I mean, my great niece, she watches CBeebies. So that's like got wall-to-wall shows just looping 24/7. So I suspect there's something out there. But then again, there's probably a YouTube channel now, an official YouTube channel that just plays them non-stop, isn't there? More than likely.
Yeah. It's a shame, really, as I said, you know. But as I said, this is not our world anymore. It's their world. But I can appreciate good movies. If somebody made a good movie now, and I go see it and I really like it, of course I'm going to rant and rave about it, because most films they just have the DEI crap in it and the politics in it, so you don't want to be watching that. But have you heard that Statham's new movie, Mutiny, has been
yes, I
copied
saw
and out
that
there on the sale, the Seven Seas.
Amazon's gonna get sued for that, aren't they? You know,
it's crazy because I think it's financed by Sky TV. That film, the last film with Jason Statham. So yeah, so I'm going to be watching that in the cinema. I'm going to take my mum to see that one in the cinema. But
I mean, you know what you're getting with Statham, don't you?
Yeah,
I like Statham action movies.
Definitely.
I think yeah, they're going to get sued for that big time. I'm not sure it would have done amazingly well. I mean, I remember watching The Beekeeper, the last one, and I just like,
it was all right. Yeah,
it was okay. It was kind of a bit of a rip off of John Wick to an extent, wasn't it? Really, they were riffing off of that. But I don't know whether they're going to do a sequel to it. To be honest with you, but
I did see a trailer today of a Statham movie, but I don't know how legit it is. It's called like The Brood,
Mutiny,
and it's like a kaiju movie or something. But it was really weird. I saw the trailer on Instagram, and all of it looked AI, like it was AI. And so I can't tell if it's a genuine, legit movie or not. But I wouldn't be surprised if it is, and they actually have just like used AI to make it. But it looks like a legit movie. But it kind of like this giant, not Godzilla creature, but this kind of a bit more like Cloverfield, I guess. And Statham just like turns up in it at one point. So I don't know what he's going to be doing in it, if it is a real movie. But if you've not found that anywhere or seen it anywhere, just do a search for it and have a look for yourself. Some of the CG looks okay, but it really does look like AI.
Do you ever see those
Whale Fall? Have you seen that one? Whale Fall trailer. Have you seen it? Came out yesterday. I kid you not. It's a man that gets swallowed by a whale and is trapped.
Oh yes, I've seen the trailer. Yeah. There's one called Ghost Soldier, starring Cavill, the guy who played Jesus. Okay. Yeah, and looks like an action film, and he's killing people and stuff. So yeah, that looks quite like a lot of fun, and it looks like it hasn't been touched by the woke police, put it that way. So that might be quite good.
Someone just mentioned in the chat that you just brought up then, John, about TVs used to be a shared experience, a family experience.
Yeah. And it was really Robert Payne.
Yeah, something I really miss about communal experiences with entertainment, and that was getting a VHS movie or two from the video shop, not even Blockbuster, from the local video shop, every weekend, inviting mates around. So there was me and two mates and my mum and dad, and we'd all be sitting there watching two really, really great, or maybe one great and one we don't know what that's about movie, as a double bill, maybe getting an Indian takeaway. You know, that was just like what we lived for during the week. You know, the weekends here, we're going to do this and that and the other, and that was like one of the staple things we'd do on a Saturday night or something as kids before we discovered the pub. And I really miss that. You know, getting a big bunch of you all round together and to watch a VHS of a movie. You know, that you missed in the cinema, or you were too young to see in the cinema, and you were watching it at home. That's just, you're not even in the cinema with a big audience. You know, it's a tiny little group of you, but that shared experience is absolutely priceless.
It's the want, though, isn't it, Swappers? It's the want of wanting something. Today, everybody's getting everything when they want it. You know, like, you know, you could watch. Yeah, before, yeah, exactly. That, you know, you could access things on your phone. You know, you could go on the internet. You know, you can download a pirate movie, or you just go to these things and stuff like that. There's no wanting. There's no waiting for something. Waiting for something. It's like if you want to know karate, you have to go for X amount of years to become black belt. You fall, you get hurt, you know, you practice, then you get to a point where you've achieved it and there's satisfaction about that. But for kids today, they want to get rid of that. They just want it now. Well, it's the same want, but they just want it now. And that's the problem, is it? They don't have to struggle for it. They don't have to wait for it. You know, I think that's one of the main problems. Getting handed it on a plate doesn't help, because you don't learn anything. You don't. Anyway, I think I've made my point.
Yeah, you have very well, mate. I mean, I think I'm actually at a point now in my life where, when you talk about sci-fi shows in particular, I don't want them being remade, or I don't want them being brought back in the current climate.
No.
I just want them to be left alone. There was once a time where I'd be like craving, oh, please bring it back. Now I'm not, because I'm terrified about what they would do to it. So I'll stay away from it. Yeah, I mean, I would, yeah. Sorry,
it's just like watching. It's just like you know, I watched Lanterns, the first episode of Lanterns, and I despised it. Everything about the whole show was just ridiculously bad. The most heinous thing they did is make the hero look like a freaking idiot, a rude, obnoxious idiot. And this seems to be the thing that's going around in Hollywood movies and TV shows. It started long time ago, but the most noticeable one is Star Wars. You know, Luke Skywalker was a fucking idiot in that one. Han Solo got stabbed with a lightsaber, killing off our heroes, making their heroes look stupid, to usher in a female character or a character of color so that they think they can correct the world. But by doing that, they're destroying good things. They're upsetting fans. They're literally making kids, or teaching kids, that that white people are stupid, that heroes don't exist, that evil people are just misunderstood, and we should gravitate towards it. That's all they're teaching in movies of today. That's all they're teaching, and I'm not for that. So when I saw the first episode of Lanterns with all that in mind, and I watched the show, how Hal Jordan was an idiot, jumping out the car and making, what's his name? He could have died. Do you know what I mean? What kind of a person would do that? Getting a guy that puts an apple on his son's head and shoots at it, that led to nowhere. What did that mean? Right? All this rubbish stuff that they put in the show, I'm out. I'm not watching. I watched the first episode. That was enough for me. That's the real problem.
The things I've got to say about that Lantern series, and Swap, as you come in as well, I don't even know if you've watched it, mate. To be honest, I don't think you have you? No. I think for me, being a Green Lantern fan, I mean, there were two things, and I kind of had a brief chat with you earlier about it. You know, and it was, look, I've got no problem with Hal Jordan training John Stewart, because in the 71 comic book that introduced him, originally in that comic book, Guy Gardner was meant to be the backup for Hal Jordan, but as Ian laughed at when I told him earlier, Guy Gardner got hit by a bus and was injured, so they had to find a replacement for Hal because Guy was out of action. So they got John Stewart signed up, but they did it, and John Stewart, you know, had a ring, and he had the Green Lantern uniform in that 71 issue, you know, because I from memory, I think he had to protect a racist person running for president, and that was what Hal had him doing. But then they rebooted it several years back, and it was the other reboot for John Stewart was he's human, but the Guardians send a manhunter to Earth to fight him, just as he is as a human, to see if he has fear, and because he doesn't have fear, they then grant him a Green Lantern ring, and then he finishes off the Manhunter. I think what they're doing is they're merging those two origins together in this series. But saying that, I don't think the person at the end, and no spoilers for anybody, is who is gone as people think that he is. I think that's a Manhunter. But I would also say what Ian said. Yes, I get it, because I love Jon Stewart as a character, but for me, Hal Jordan is number one, without a shadow of a doubt. And Hal Jordan is this heroic guy. Now, the way they've written him is to be this sort of depressed, bitter, fed up with life kind of attitude that they've written him as. I could understand it if you kind of had the story like there was a parallax thing that they'd actually got from the comic books and they were going there, but I just don't think they are. I think they've just done it just because they fancy doing it. And again, it's Lindelof, so I'm not a fan of Lindelof. And I remember Watchmen.
It's deliberate. It's deliberate, John. They're doing it deliberately, right? There's no way you can tell me that it's a coincidence between the new Star Wars films and what we got in Lanterns. You can't tell me it's a coincidence that they decided to make the main person that was the main Green Lantern to be an idiot and a bit of a drunk. That's what they did with Luke Skywalker. There's no way that's a coincidence. They're doing it deliberately. That's why I won't watch the show.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how much people enjoy it. I'm not going to watch it because of that basic fact. You're going to do a Green Lantern show, I want to see superheroes. I want to see them in the costume. I want to see them be the Lantern Corps. I don't know what this is. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
I mean, heart on my sleeve. Is it going to be the Lantern series that I want? No, it's not. Is it going to be, and again, the Ryan Reynolds movie had its faults, but Oa was fantastic. The way they realized that, Kilowog in it was fantastic. The outfits that they did, which were the effects for the outfits, all that was fantastic. I liked all of that. I just didn't like Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan. I think what I'm going to get here is going to be completely different to it. Again, they're already. I've got no problem with it being Jon Stewart who's the main lead in it, but I agree with what you're saying, Ian. If it turns out that this is exactly what they're doing, and it's only an 8-episode series, and I'll see it to the end, then they had no need to do that whatsoever. They could have had a larger than life Hal Jordan teaching Jon Stewart, or they could have gone with how they did in the comic books of how Hal Jordan falls because of what happens to his home city, Coast City. But again, you've got none of that build up. So if they suddenly just throw in a line and go, oh, he's like that because of what happened to his city, it's lazy. So I get where you're coming from with it. I will see it to the end, but I'm not expecting it to make me think at the end of it, you know what, this was fantastic. I really don't think it's going to be. That's my view on it, really. But Swappers, by the sounds of it, of what we've just said, you're not going to watch it.
I didn't even watch the trailer, but I saw some still images, and that was enough to make me not care. I just thought, what the hell is this? Brown Lanterns? What are the, and
why is it not called Green Lantern?
The guy that's playing Jon Stewart looks nothing like I'd expect him to. The Jon Stewart I know, I never read the comics or anything like that, but the Jon Stewart I know that I have a lot of respect for and really, really appreciated
Justice League,
cartoon.
Yeah.
He was amazing in that. Yeah, so you've got to match up
character.
to that. If you're not meeting that quality, then I don't want to know.
I think you're right, Swappers. I mean, in those Justice League cartoon, he was fantastic, and he was great in Green Lantern. In the comic books, he's a fantastic character. But what Ian said as well. I'm still sticking to my view. The reason that they're calling it Lanterns is because you aren't just going to see the Green Lanterns, you're going to see the Yellow Lanterns as well. That's why they're calling it Lanterns. Now, after 8 episodes, I could be completely wrong, and I could go, oh yeah, it's Damon Lindelof again. He's done another Watchmen. But I I suspect that's what I'm going to see. But you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, like I say, you're out already, Ian, which isn't a great sign. For, you know,
Well,
if there's many like you.
Look, look. If you're going to talk about Green Lantern, you got to talk about Hal. And if you're talking about Hal, you know that Hal is a hero and a real respected Green Lantern. Yes, he did have his ups and downs, right? But if you're starting, why not start with the white guy? Why are you pushing the black guy? We know why. That's the thing. We know why they're doing that. And because of that, I am out. Good luck, everybody, if you're going to be watching this show. Good luck, John, if you're wishing that it's going to be what you want it to be. But you know it's not going to be that.
No,
I
didn't say that.
There.
I didn't say that. I
there.
said, yeah, I didn't say that. I said, I don't believe it's going to be what I want it to be. Again, it's to be honest with you, like I said to you, I'll see it through. But as I said, it's already not what I want it to be because I'm not going to get what I get in the comic books, which is the Green Lantern Corps with a galactic, you know, larger than life characters. You know,
yeah,
that's why, in my opinion, it should have been a movie. You know,
but again,
he's one of the core members of the Justice League. You know, it's
every
silly.
hero, whether it's DC or Marvel, every white hero has been desecrated. Thor, he's fat. Hulk, he isn't Savage Hulk. You know, what else? Captain America, now black guy has his shield, right? What else? Superman, he gets beaten up in the first movie, right? Wonder Woman.
They took Kirk out of Star Trek with all the anniversary and promotional posters or anything like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Star Wars is they destroyed Star Wars by turning it into female brand. It's either turning it into female brand or putting or getting a white guy that was originally white and turning him black, or having him gay. Do you know what I mean? All of this nonsense. You can't tell me that that's a coincidence. And everything going across and the Lanterns are coincidence. It is not, right? Doctor Who's the same thing. But, right, I understand why people want to watch. I understand why Nerdrotic wants to watch it because he has to review it. Maybe John has to watch it because he has to review it. Ian has to review it. But for me, I'm not a reviewer. I can just tell you how I feel. And I do not want to be part of this crap that they're coughing out. It is absolute trash. I don't want to be part of it.
I mean, I said before, I said this on, you know, Popcast Brothers live show that I do on a Saturday. And, you know, I was quite honest about it. Like a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about it. And I said, look, my view on James Gunn's era running DC, the thing is at the moment, and the example I give is, what was it? Last weekend, we had the Marvel Doomsday trailer. And no matter how bad Marvel have been the last decade or however long it's been, the difference is that got me, that gave me goosebumps. I was like, that is the Doom. I want to see that. Now, it might be totally different in Doomsday, but what I saw in that trailer made me think that's Doom, and I'm looking forward to it. Every trailer that I've seen from DC, I just go, oh, whatever, you know. It doesn't resonate a strong emotional feel for me, if that makes sense, you know. And DC should. Yeah, Green Lantern. I'm a comic book guy. I get Green Lantern as a subscription. I should be punching the air for a new Green Lantern show or a movie, but I'm not. It's one episode in, and again, I'm not stupid. I mean, there's people online basically celebrating that it's got 9.3 million views for its first episode, but that's the first episode. It won't be like that in episode 2. You know, people have gone in, they've had a sniff at it, and they've gone, okay, I won't watch that again. Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. You know, we'll see.
Isn't it ironic though that, you know, all the shows and movies and stuff that we wanted as kids or as young adults that we wish they could make, but they couldn't at the time because we didn't have the budgets or the effects or anything. Now they have all that, but unfortunately we can't have what we want because they're shoving all this political crap into everything. So even though they've got the budget, they can make everything look pretty. The writing, absolute garbage. So it's just heartbreaking, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. It is very heartbreaking. It's a shame, as I say. It's a shame. You know, you have people going, You know, I really liked Light Lanterns. It was good. And, you know, God bless them if that's how they think. And it got people going, oh, I like that last Superman film. But, you know, it's for me, I can see it's like I see too much, obviously. And you know,
Yeah.
again, those two things are just a waste of my time. They really are. I
And
want to
there's
see it
nothing
done
wrong with that.
properly.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, again, we talked about it on a previous show, and I said to you, I like the Superman movie from 2025, but I can't say it's a Superman movie. And when I know it sounds strange saying that, but I think I said to you before, there's no moments. There are no Superman moments where he earns it in that 2025 movie. But as I said, you watch the 78 Christopher Reeve one, there are so many moments where he earns it as, you know, this guy's Superman, you know, and people respect him. I mean, again, just that iconic scene where he grabs the helicopter, you know, and Lois says, "You've got me, who's got you?" It's iconic, you know, straight away, you know, right, this is Superman. You feel it.
With Christopher Reeve's movies, it was never about really the powers and his abilities that and what he could do that defined him. It was his character. It was the fact that we were all behind him. Is the fact that we all loved the character. He was just. He was humble. He was caring. He was everything. That's what everyone should aspire to be. You know, yeah, we'd all love the powers, but that's not what we wanted. We all wanted to be that person that always did the right thing.
Yeah,
that's the core of Superman.
Yeah, and again, one of my pet hates from the 2025 movie is just they made his parents sound like morons.
Oh God, that's terrible.
And it was, they weren't. I think I talked to you about it, Ian, and I said to you, when you watch the 78 one, and again, it resonates with me because of how I lost my dad. But when he goes to race his dad, and then his dad goes, "Oh no," and next thing you know, he collapses, and then you get that shot of just Clark slowly turning around and realizing. Then you get the long shot of Clark running back to go to his dad, and the dog in the background, and his mum coming over. It just hits those emotional beats. It's so good.
Do you know? So that scene you're talking about, John, you know the bit where he says, "Sure enough, again, son," and Clark Kent looks really ashamed, and he walks up to his father and he says, "I didn't mean to." Look, compare that to the scene, the 2025 the 25 movie, where the wife goes, "Don't mind your father. He's always been soft." And the father is crying and the mother is strong. Now, you can't tell me that that's not done deliberately. Of course it's done deliberately. They're
100%.
They're fat. They move slow. It's just, it really grates with me. And Superman, right, not being stoic and in control of anything in that film. Right, I tell you how bad this film is. You probably didn't see it, John. When Superman gives himself up, why did they shove his face into the pavement? When he was giving himself up, he had they put the handcuffs on him and they take his head and they shove it into. Why would they do that? Right? Yeah. And then there's another scene in it where he's fighting with the guy, and the guy literally separates his legs and kicks him in the balls. Now, you can't tell me that's not done deliberately to actually put the white man down. I mean, look, you may think I'm being stupid and being looking at things too much, but it's there. That's the whole point of why I hated that movie. Superman has an argument with his girlfriend, and he's so stupid that after years of being a journalist, he doesn't know if he flies into another country, there'll be consequences. How stupid is that man? Superman. Just saying.
I think I get your points on that. I really do. They're valid points, mate. I mean, again, I didn't understand that as well. I think there are one of the main issues with that 2025 movie for me as well. This is the main one for me is, and again, I think I've said to you guys on the show before, I want to go back to not trying to build universes out, just do individual movies in their own universes. if they become successful, then you can say they're a shared universe, because I'm sick and tired of, like, the Superman movie. We've got Hawk Girl, we've got got Guy Gardner, Green Lantern in it. We've got other characters in there. It's just like, no, I want to see a Superman movie. When I watched Superman 2, I loved it because it's Superman up against Zod and Zod's compatriots. So no, it's fantastic. But I'm going to say to everybody, we've got to go now. It's been fantastic today. We are going over to Mr. Brown Alliance now. And honestly, as I said, I've pinned the link in the live chat. So if you click on that, you can join us over there, and then, subscribe to Mr. Brown Alliance, because it's a great channel. And I think he's very close to getting to 4K, isn't he? Subscribers.
Was it 5? I can't remember.
5.
Or was it 5? Yeah. So
5.
he's got power. He's like some, he's like a flipping drug baron now.
Also, before we go, I'd just like to say, don't listen to me, seriously. I'm just an ordinary guy, and also exactly. Also, I have bias as well, right? Don't listen to me. Go and see whatever you want to go and see, and make a judgment call for yourself. That's what I always say to people. So don't listen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Get your own view on it. Go and watch it. I mean, the credit I'll always give Ian is Ian will always watch it, no matter what. He will go and watch it and give his own determination on it. And then he'll come back and he'll go, it was shit.
Well, not everything is shit. Reacher's okay. If you watch Reacher, it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. It's worth watching. I don't know. What's the Obsession is good. Backrooms is good. There are some good stuff out there. So take that as you will.
And I would also say as well, just before we wrap up, if you've enjoyed the show tonight of us talking retro stuff and just riffing off of stuff we like to talk about, hit the subscribe button. We've got lots more stuff coming on the channel. We do this every Friday. It's good fun. We really enjoy, hanging out with all of you in the chat. These two are always great fun to spend time with. And Ian, just before we go, let everyone know about Rebecca Gold, where they can find your channel.
Rebecca Gold is on the Rebecca Gold channel, would you believe? On YouTube. We've got films on there that I haven't put anything up lately. It's been such a long time, so I didn't have anything to put up at all. But Rebecca Gold is in a festival, and I'm flying off to California next month to attend it. So I'm hoping that we win something at least.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be there in the next 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
You stay away from those naughty Hollywood people.
Yeah, I will. But
he'll come back with new air.
if Lindelof offers me a crap load of money to make Rebecca
he's there.
woke,
he's there.
I'm there, mate. I'll take the money. I'll sell it.
Yeah. Lantern season 2 from Ian Diaz. Yeah.
Definitely.
But swappers, let everyone know where you can be found. I'm just going to quickly put, everybody, if you check that link out as well, that is Swapper's channel, and it's really good. If you've had enough of really crap Star Wars, then check this out, because it's great stuff that Swappers is doing. So yeah, just explain, Swappers, on what you're up to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've heard the latest chapter yet, but I just uploaded it last week, chapter 13. Nearly 45 minutes long. They're getting really long, these episodes now, and a hell of a lot of work to do. But I'm a perfectionist, so it's there's no two ways about it. That's the way I do it. So yeah, that's my channel. Just click that link, you'll go straight to it. There's a playlist with all the chapters in it, so you can just hit chapter 1 and it will play all the way through. And I'm not even in the middle of the story yet, so there's a lot to come. And I've just had like 7 new subscribers this week. Whoa, 7!
Hey! Let's get more, because he's doing good stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really getting in front of many people, but I mean, maybe if more people sort of visit the channel and share it out, then that might change because it sort of acts virally, doesn't it? It goes through people and that
Yeah.
goes to other people, that goes to other people.
Word of
So
mouth.
I really would appreciate it if anyone could go and pay a visit. If you like the first chapter, give it a sub, give it a like. You know, if you don't, say no more. But I'd really appreciate you taking the time to give the first one a listen at least. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And that's it. So what we'll do, we will say goodbye to you, and we will see you over at Mr. Brown Alliance. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Take care. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
See ya.